Hi, my name is Alexandra Marshall. I'm going to be a sophomore at Ball State in the fall. I'm studying biology with concentrations in genetics and zoology and a minor in Spanish. And I'm here to talk about my experience living through the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. So obviously I had to move home from Ball State in about mid-March. And I think what made my experience very unique for most college students is I actually worked through the entire stay-at-home order, which was very interesting, and I think it's what's given me a unique perspective living through this. So I have two jobs. I am a waitress at a local family-owned restaurant, and then I'm also a pet care specialist at a local veterinary hospital. I am a pet care specialist at Noah's Caring Hands Animal Hospital at Geist. So we take care of a lot of just regular veterinary things, but we also have animals that stay with us for boarding, if the owners are on vacation or whatnot. And we also have a grooming salon. So, there were some animals that were with us the entire time. Through the stay-at-home order, we do have some that were, in and out. So we did still have boarders, but we also did still have our normal veterinary procedures. So what we did is we limited it to non-elective procedures. So, anything that was life-threatening, we weren't doing just regular wellness exams, but, necessary exams. And so, I did have to come in a lot to not only take care of those animals and make sure the hospital was clean, especially at a time like this, but also I have been helping out with the technicians a lot. And that was really interesting, getting to work in the healthcare of the animals. So I definitely think I have a unique perspective going through it all, but I think what I thought was most important thing was the learning opportunities it gave me. So, yes, it was very upsetting that I had to come home from college and, that I didn't get to get initiated into my sorority and spend time with my friends and, have the rest of my freshman year. I was also supposed to study abroad in Namibia for a biology field study. We were supposed to be studying wildlife and eco-management down in Namibia, which is by Southern Africa. And, that was exciting, but I also have to look at it in a different perspective, in a different light. So, it's interesting because I think there's nothing that I can compare this time to. There's nothing I can compare this experience to. There's, nothing in history because, yes, there have been pandemics before, but I think we're living at a time with the technology and society has just changed so much that we are responding in different ways. So I think what was important to me was to look at what could it do for me, what could I learn from it, and not just being upset, So I had learning opportunities at work. I was able to learn lab techniques and animal strength techniques, how to run and set up fecal exams and heartworm tests, things like that. So that's great, but also, I got to spend a lot of time with my family. That was time that I would have been living at Ball State, but instead I got to be home with my family, which was really nice. We went on nightly dog walks. We had a lot of game nights, which was nice. Those are memories I made that I won't ever take for granted because, it was a unique time, but being able to have that support system there was great. So I was able to deepen those relationships, and I was able to go work out, and you can't go to like a gym, but I could go walk or bike at a local park, which was that's really nice. That's something you don't want to take it for granted. But I also feel like with everything going on, it's a lot of time for you to, you may not have a job or you may not be super busy right now, so it's great to educate yourself. And, I found I had a lot of time to read and really take in the news, but also really digest it. And if I had a question, actually read about it and learn. But I really want to get into the main thing I kept telling my family. Is it kind of sounds really weird and makes no sense at all. I kept saying, elephants versus dogs. So, I was supposed to be down in South Africa studying, elephants and all kinds of cool wildlife. There was going to be gazelles and all kinds of cool stuff, but instead I'm working with dogs and cats. And, at first it sounds like a trade-off that it's like, oh, you're really missing out. But if you think about it, you know, I am missing out on something cool, but I'm also learning something that, you know, if it wasn't for COVID, maybe I wouldn't be working as much with the animals and with the veterinary doctors and technicians. I wouldn't be learning as much about the animals, which, you know, I do want to go into a hands-on science field with animals. So, you know, it's something to think about. You know, I don't want to take this experience as something that was just bad. You know, yes, there were aspects that, you know, it sucks that I had to come home. You know, it's really unfortunate, but, you know, I also don't think that's the right mindset. You know, I like to have a better mindset, because a good positive outlook like that is what's going to help us see through this to the end, help us see through to a society past COVID. You know, it helps us see the differences that we're making in the world right now and everything we're noticing in our world right now, and how are we going to make these changes, these positive changes, last for our society for the whole time, you know? And really make it a change. I think one of the biggest things for just my future was not only that work experience, but, you know, I'm here making money and saving money, which is, it's nice. So, you know, once again, looking out on the positive. So that was, you know, my experience, and I think also we have a lot more going on than just COVID. We have a lot going on, and it's been nice to be in a situation where I can reflect and do my part while still, you know, maintaining a safe distance and staying safe even while working. I've been able to stay safe, but still think about how can I change the world for the better, whether there's a pandemic or not. So I think it's definitely been an interesting time. It's nothing I've ever experienced in my life, nothing anybody else has ever experienced. I hope we don't have to go through it again, but if we do, I hope it's something we can learn from, and I hope that my positive mindset is something that I can carry through, and, you know, these lessons that I've learned from this time don't fade, they stay with me. Thank you. Hope everybody stays safe.